Well, it may be that there will be a special relation in culture. Of course, that will never go away. But there become problems when you have a special relation with the state apparatus. Because then what happens, as I explained in my talk, then the church becomes involved in political power. And I think it then loses some of its ability to play what could be its best role, that is, as a moral force. We have this expression in our country of speaking truth to power. And it was the type of power, we distinguish political power from, you might say, spiritual power. And I never use the word power when I talk about spiritual power. I use the word truth or influence or something like that. And in our civil rights movement, for example, there was a great movement among the churches to stand up for justice and civil rights and so forth. And we never was political in a way. We were just there expressing our consciences, and the politicians acted. And I think that was the church's finest hour in my living memory. I mean, you might say the same thing on the other side of the political spectrum today. Those people who are opposed to abortion, some people from the churches are trying to influence politics in this way, but not by being political themselves necessarily. I mean, although that's difficult, it may be places where they cross over. So I think it's a matter of the church is best. The church is best when I think it is least playing pretending to be a state, and that it's best when it's being the church and being a different.
What is the main function of the church?
It's to be a church. It's to worship God. It's to offer sacrifice. It's to do the liturgy. It's to meditate and pray. It's not a legislative body. And it's not to play politics. I mean, that's the original. I mean, when Jesus said, "Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's," right? And render to God the things that are God's. So I think that this is a practical matter in terms of a practical strategy. What is the best thing for the church to do? And I think the best thing for the church to do is to play this moral role in the society and not try to be the state. I think then things get very confused, and also, look, it's going to make problems for getting into the EU. The EU is not going to stand for that.
You have spoken about the hierarchy. What did you mean? Can you explain?
Yeah, well, in the sense that the church is like one hand, and the state is like the other hand, and you need both hands, right? But this one is always maybe more powerful. I lift things up with this hand, and I grab things with this hand, and so forth. But you don't cut off this hand. You work together. I wanted to grab something from here. Maybe I'll take this hand to help. You see, so the church, the government, the state is like this, and the civil society, including the church, is like this. And together, they can make a very dynamic society. But if you just have one hand, then you have nothing. No balance. If you wanted to balance, you have no balance. You need to balance yourself. Or if you just have this hand, you can't do anything. It's not strong enough, right? So hierarchy is about complementarity. It's about things being different. Right hand is not the same as the left hand. They're not equal, but they work together. They work in complement with